what I liked about your presentation and what worked, for me is similar to what you say when I talk to customers or even myself about evaluations of anything, right? We talked about like a big purchases can be different for different people at different times, different for a business, different for a person, right? Sometimes a car is a big purchase. Sometimes a house is a big purchase. Sometimes it isn't. It just depends on that person. And uh, I think what's worked for me, especially when I talk to customers, is that education in the front, like you said, like getting understanding early, because both the customer and the vendor, the provider, learn something, and they with you that whole way. And if they can't help you, it's much easier for me to say at that time, oh, I can't help you, right? You should go over here and get the help that you need,
That's
right?
right.
Versus saying, uh, we've identified that you can help us, right? Bring you in. Let's do the what I call the kiss and baby shaking hands. Come in, do this, do that. Show me this, show me this. How much is it going to cost you? And then you might find too late in the process, like, hey, I don't know that we can help you with this problem that you have. And that late stage discovery of that problem can be avoided if you plan a little bit ahead of time. Sometimes and what you mark about partnerships was really powerful for me because we work with a lot of manufacturers, and you do too. I know that's how we work a lot together. And I mean, manufacturing is a small community, really is, and so um, I think you got to. It's about trust and relationships, and so that instead of seeing it as like you're the vendor, I got to be on guard. It's like, well, we want success here. We're looking for success. We're not looking for. I mean, yes, we're in the business of selling software and servicing it, but if we can't have good outcomes, we feel like we're not set up to succeed, or for the customer to succeed, then we need to know that right away. So I think
I
we
agree.
get a
I
lot of
think, sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say, I
no,
think
that's
part of
good.
that, if it's a meaningful purchase that is going to result in a long-term relationship, then, the things that we're saying now are especially true. The need to collaborate early rather than later. Because as you're saying, Jeff, it's, the publishers, the solution providers, they're not going to want to engage and try to move forward if they realize and can identify that it's not a good fit. It's not going to be a long-term relationship. They'd rather focus their scarce resources to a better fit, in something that will result in a success in a long-term relationship. So engaging them earlier is going to get you a higher probability of a successful outcome in terms of not only picking the right solution, but successfully adopting it.
Yeah, I think it alleviates some frustration too, right? Because they do a bunch of work, and then they come to the provider, and they do this internal work, and they come to the provider and they say, "Hey, we want you to do all these things now," and you're going, "Well, I need to learn." That they can be frustrated, like, "Well, I just want you to just show it to me. Just I want to see it." You're like, "What? I see," like you said, see what? So, like, what do you want to? What am I trying to solve here? I mean, yes,
Right.
I could open up Acumatica and I could click around and show you like, here's a bill of materials. Well, we don't use that. Okay, like here's whatever, right? Well, here's a configurator. Oh, we don't need a configurator. Okay, what do you want me to show you? Same in CAD Talk. CAD Talk can do lots of. When I've worked with customers, I made mistakes early in the past. Where when I first started my career, uh, with showing people and software, I made the same mistake I think everybody does. You're a software tour, right? Let me show you around here, and the customer, the prospect leaves kind of wanting, like, you didn't show me what I wanted to see, and that's like, well, I need to know. You learn quickly, like, well, you need to know what they're interested in seeing, what's important, what's the problem we're trying to solve.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, when folks try to say depend on movies, let's say on YouTube, it's going to be either potentially configured differently, than how you use it, or
Hmm.
perhaps the software doesn't have the functionality, but how do you know which it is? Is it a case that the
Right.
demonstration had it configured differently than the way your business operates, or does it just not do what you need? And that can lead to a lot of confusion, a lot of incorrect assumptions through not necessarily any fault of anybody. It's just without having that business advisor there to guide you through that, these types of mistakes are going to be made.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably spoken to 1,000 manufacturing companies at least, and gone through discoveries and discussions and shown CAD talk over the years, and you really need to know like what the problems can be solved, but it's hard to show that just in a video or a demo, right? Like because it's generic. This is generally the problems that can be solved. Well, my problem looks different from that. Then you're probably it won't work. You're like, well, yeah, it'll work. It's I'm not showing that particular problem. I mean, what I found in businesses, talking to the 1,000 manufacturing companies, is that every problem, business problems can be complicated, right? You got multiple departments, multiple people, all kinds of different, systems you got to work with. The problems can be solved, but you need to know about all of those things, those variables, if you will.
Yeah, and I think your comment about going through this a thousand times versus if someone's been assigned to go evaluate a technology like CAD Talk for the first time, there's it, they're just not going to be able to have as comprehensive or as broad or as accurate view of what can be done, what should be done as yourself, just because you've gone through it so many times with so many different folks. You've seen what's worked, you've seen what's not worked, you've seen what's possible. And having someone who even has gone through it once before, it's unreasonable to expect they would have that same level of expertise as you do, having gone through it as many times as you have.